Oh, hey!
Oh,
We're
we're
live.
live. I'm fixing
We're
my
live.
makeup. Cool.
Hello.
Swag. That's
Hi.
how we start the second episode of the Dope Pear podcast. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Um,
God damn.
All right, let's start off. Let's introduce ourselves. I am Nate, again, also known as Six Sticks on the website. And go to Eric.
I'm Eric. I was here last week, so you should know me. I'm Eric Florex on the website. Woo.
My name's Andrew. I'm AG Combat 21 on the website.
My name's Graham. Graham_live on the website.
For the last, I'm Artemis, and I'm Chaos Ride on the website.
Is that okay? I gotta ask. Is that really your name? Is that Artemis really your name?
Yeah, Artemis is my name. Artemis
Okay,
is my
'cause I
middle
was-
name.
Because like I was confused because I was like, I kept referring to you as Artemis. I'm like, I don't know what her real name is.
No, Artemis is my real name.
Okay, I was just
I
making
thought
sure.
that was like a pseudonym or something like
No.
that.
It's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
middle
yeah.
name, but like my mom's like first name is Cinnamon, so.
Hey, at least you're not like Kaden. K-D-I-N.
Shots fired. Jesus.
Like,
Damn,
it's like K Dan.
He's not gonna listen to RTX. He'd be like, no.
Kaden. How are you doing, sir?
Hi, Caden. What's
No,
up?
but seriously, I love Kaden. He's like one of my favorite people.
You're not insulting Caden. You're insulting his mom. He's just suddenly like.
Or his dad, who had sex with
So-
a pink Power Ranger.
Damn.
Go! Shots fired. Shot.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
There was no pullback from that.
There's no way to get out of that. Everyone down.
I think that's what he thought whenever he, oh, didn't get out in time,
Should have swallowed.
Shots fired.
Jeez.
Shots fired. That's like the reverse of squid hands. It's shots fired, and you go, squid hands. Squid hands.
All right, so
So,
Fantastic start.
let me do a little disclaimer. You two, Mr. Graham, Mr. Eric, are more on the East Coast, and the rest of us in here are all from the great state of Texas. From Texas. So, and Artemis actually doesn't live too far from me, so there's going to be a lot of references probably to just
Yeah.
some shit that,
That's
Happens
fine.
here.
So I'm going to give a little disclaimer there. So I think to start this episode, last week's episode of the Dope Hair Podcast.
previously.
Previously on the Dope Pear Podcast.
Podcast.
Just throw in clips of everyone saying dicks and shit, and you're done.
We
really need the fucking
let's be like the RT podcast, and within 5 minutes of talking, we're talking about dicks.
Absolutely.
We like
I
edit
like
the
it.
fucking Yu-Gi-Oh opening, so instead of games, it says podcast.
It's time to do the podcast. Last podcast, we kind of talked about gaming and what got us into Rooster Teeth and stuff like that. Shh, I'm talking. Shh. Sorry. Anyway, so Eric pointed out one of the lists that we have is to talk about what our first experiences with video games was. Yeah. What was for you guys? What was your first experience with a video game where you're like, hey, I kind of want to do this. This seems like something that I would like to spend my time doing.
Mm-hmm. And it can be anything from like PC to console to just like overall. What was like maybe like the first time, and then like the next time when you were like, I want to continue doing this because this is awesome.
I'll start because I went last. Spoke up first as well. I actually started playing video games because both of my grandmothers played Zelda. And so, I mean, I obviously got hooked. And so, I just, like, kind of never stopped. So I was fairly young. Sounds like we're talking about drugs.
Well, your grandparents were?
My
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, but the grandmother on my mom's side and the grandmother on my dad's side both separately played with me.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was as simple as my sister owned a NES, and she handed the classic move of handing the disconnected controller, and I thought I was playing, and it was funny though, because I mean that's what I thought. It was so awesome because like, wow, this is super complex because it's doing nothing that I'm doing.
Exactly.
This is weird. And
It's a mystery.
Right? And I don't think it was really until I was like 11 that I started actually playing games, because missed that whole generation of time. I actually started playing was I was at a friend's house and we were playing PS2, and we were making ridiculous characters on WWE.
As you do.
As you do.
And and that's what really got the ball rolling. And then I would play at friends' houses, and the first time I got a console was to play Halo 3. And so I played Halo 3 for 5 years, and I think I stacked up about 20,000 custom games.
Huh.
Nice.
I should side note that my experience ranged from I started watching people play Zelda, and then I was like, I want to beat every game that's out, and I was like 8. So they're like, what? I have since achieved that, but at 8 I mainly just got stuck. But I still started playing about that age.
Nice.
I don't remember my exact age, but I just remember playing a lot, like Game Boy Color and PlayStation 1, and just like Crash Bandicoot. Played that a fuck ton.
Anybody else start out on like Jak and Daxter?
I played a ton of Jak and Daxter.
I started out like on Sega Genesis. That's what I remember. I can remember playing Sonic with my dad. My dad would spend like a couple nights just beating Sonic. Like I think he stayed up one night and beat it. And I don't know if he played it again, but I remember playing that a lot. And then I actually skipped around a lot because I went from Sega Genesis to like what was the next one? I didn't own a 64. I wish I would have, but I didn't. I think straight after Sega Genesis, I had a PS1, and then I originally lived in California, so I had that. And when I moved to Texas, that was back when you couldn't save shit because they didn't really have memory cards. So I had this like Ace Combat Fighter game that I was playing, and I was going to go to school. So I was like, okay, I'll just leave it on like I normally do. I come back and things just fried. Like it's gone. I was like, oh man. And then my mom, she took me to the store the next day and said, you can have whatever console you want. I'm sorry that happened. And I was actually a good kid, and I was like, well, that one's cheaper, so let's get that one. So I got a GameCube instead of getting like an Xbox or a PS2. Which I honestly don't regret because I fucking loved my GameCube. My
GameCubes are amazing.
I still have mine. I like the first one we got.
The only generation I missed, I didn't miss the PS2 because I got a PS2 Slim about a couple years after that, but I never played on the original Xbox. That's the only console I've never played on.
Yeah, I never played on that either.
The only Xbox I've ever owned was an Xbox One.
I've owned
like
the first one,
or like the Xbox One, like the Xbox.
No, the Xbox, the Xbone is the one she.
Okay, let me think.
Yeah.
My parents used to own a really old Macintosh 2 computer, and they're like really old games on there, and they were really, really cool and really fun. And it's my nostalgia thing, and I want to like play those, but I can't because they're so damn old. So that was like my first experience with that, but my parents were kind of against, console gaming and stuff like that, and so I never really had that until my cousin broke his PS2, and then he gave it to my brother, who my brother fixed, and my brother and I just played Sly Cooper all the damn time, and that was when I was like, this is so cool, I love it, and so I love the Sly Cooper franchise, and it always holds a special place in my heart.
Sly Cooper on my PS2 was my favorite memory. That game is so good, so good. I never played the fourth one, which pisses me off. I really need to, but I never played the fourth one.
I never played the fourth one. What I did was I watched a Let's Play in it just because I wanted to.
I might do that because
those games are just so those games I feel are really good for introducing people like younger people into video games because they're not heavy, they're not it's like, the animation style it holds up over time and the story is like fun enough that you want to like continue and have a good time in it.
Yeah, I didn't play the first one when it came out. I played the second one was the first Sly Cooper game I
Oh,
played.
the second one was amazing. So
I was like, oh my god, this game is so good. And then I can't remember when I played it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I know I played Sly Cooper 1. I bought that after I think I played the third one, and then I went back to the first one to play it. And it's just like when you play those second and third, and then you go back to the first one, it's just like
oh my god, why?
Because it's like, yeah, because you have, lives. I mean, you have, like, a health bar in 2 and 3, and the first one you have, like, those horseshoes. Like, if you don't have those, you get hit once, you're dead, and you gotta restart. And it's like, oh, this is fucking...
I mean, speaking of...
super easy to beat, too.
Speaking of Sly Cooper, shout out to Twitch streamer Lovable Lamb Chop. He does a lot of Sly Cooper speedruns. And
I actually get on that.
Yeah, he's super cool, and I recommend checking him out. I think he holds the current any percent run world record.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's at like a 2 hours 3 minutes or something like that.
That's quick.
Yeah, I mean it's insane and it's awesome.
The first one doesn't take any time to beat at all. It's actually pretty easy to beat.
Mm-hmm. I never played the Sly Cooper series, but I remember when I first got, I think it was my PS2. It was like the PS2. The only game series I had was the Jack and Daxters. Mm-hmm. So I was like, every Saturday, I'd be like, I'm gonna beat it one day today. And my parents were like, do whatever.
Yeah, if I go back to PS2, Sly Cooper was one of my favorites, but I loved the Ratchet and Clank games.
Oh yes,
yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about that.
I beat what was it? I almost beat Going Commando, but I beat Up Your Arsenal, and that took a long time.
Isn't that the third one?
Yeah, that's the third one.
The Courtney Love robot? If I'm remembering correctly.
I think so. I'm actually going to look it up. I know the fourth one was Deadlocked, and that one was really cool, because that had like a different mechanic to it.
Mm-hmm. Ratchet. Yeah, I always watched my brother play those, because I wasn't good enough and coordinated with, like thumb and stuff. So yeah. I just watched him play that, and it was a good time. I remember when we played Sly 2, what we do is we had like one save game file that was like the game was beat on it, and you could use a cheat code that was like a super jump, and we just hang out and super jump everywhere, and now I kind of feel like now you don't really get really interesting cheat codes anymore. It's just
you don't. Yeah. The GTA ones were the best.
The dev just doesn't no. You're not gonna cheat around the game.
Yeah, I remember that was the thing back in the day when you had like a PS2 or for me, I had a PS2. You'd put them in. You'd go to the store and buy those books that had all these cheat codes.
Yeah, I was gonna say my brother had this thick one that was like 1,000 cheat codes for the PSP, and he paid like $20 for it, and he was so proud of it. And I was like,
it was super fun. I wish that we could go back to do it. I think Rockstar's the only one that really does that still. Mm-hmm. I think that... Okay, I'm looking at it now.
We've moved on to DLC, which is...
Yeah, which is,
It's not the same.
It sucks having... Yeah, because you have to pay for DLC usually, and you're like...
Yeah.
And if you don't buy DLC, you miss the story, and then you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Alright, the first one's Ratchet and Clank, second is Going Commando, third is Up Your Arsenal, fourth is Deadlocked. Deadlocked was fun because...
It was a different mechanic, right?
Yeah, Ratchet gets abducted and
does he have to play in like a deathmatch arena?
Yeah, you have to play in a deathmatch arena, which was really cool, and you had a lot of new weapons. And then I didn't play some of the ones for PS3 because I didn't have a PS3 at first. I had a 360. I got the Elite right before they went to the Slims. Mm. I think the next one I played was a Crack in Time. But what kind of bothers me is like all these fucking Ratchet and Clank games they come out with. it's like it's almost like they're flooding.
The flooding the
Trying
market.
to flood this. Yeah, it's just like one after another after another after another. It's like we need a break. Don't
Yeah, the market gets saturated, and then you don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Well, and it's funny you say that because of the whole Call of Duty thing and how it's a game every year, and I always feel like it's just a let's flood this market, let's get as much as we can, and then bail. And I hate that. It's
Well, but
like
the thing about Call of Duty that's a little bit different is that the mechanic is never going to change in Call of Duty. It's an FPS.
except for Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare changed the formula a lot.
Yeah.
Which I liked. Some people didn't. I liked.
Well,
Yeah, I felt like the game hipster because it got really popular, and I was like, no, I'm not going to play this just because it's so popular.
correct me if I'm wrong, but Advanced Warfare seemed like it took a lot of cues from what happened with Titanfall earlier in the year.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
And then Halo 5 is taking what those two
Yeah,
did.
that's coming out.
Yeah, Halo 5, if you look at the first bid doc they had, they're talking about, we're going to do these new mechanics. You're a Spartan, you should have these awesome Spartan abilities like dashing, or like, you can do the same, you can go boosting side to side, or you can, jump in the air, do verticality. And I'm like, okay, we know you took a cue off of that, but it's okay, you're Halo.
It's all right.
I'm going to be
all right.
honest, I saw a Halo 5 commercial, and I thought that it was a promo for RVB 13.
Was it the bullet? Was it the bullet?
Yeah, it was the bullet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, see,
Yeah.
the one in theaters came on, and like, fucking, or no, it was the Master Chief mask came up, and I expected Jeff's voice, and I was like, oh wait, that's like not a thing that happens regularly.
Yeah, no, I saw that. They were talking about this like countdown to this Halo 5 teaser, and then I watched it, and I was like, it's a bullet hitting Master Chief's helmet. And then I watched a breakdown, and each spin has a different word on the bullet. Like one is from like savior, hero, to like, and then it like escalates to traitor, deserter, and thief or something like that. So I'm really interested in what the
see.
I'm really interested in what the story's going to be on this one. I didn't. I guess we can go into the Halo talk. I guess that could be our segue. As far as everybody's here plays Halo, right? Has played Halo.
I have not played Halo, but I'm a little bit familiar with the story, so I'll talk out my ass. It's okay.
Graham,
Yeah, I play it all the time.
Andrew, and Artemis.
oh yeah.
I've played it like once or twice. I have no idea.
What was the first Halo you played?
One.
I don't know. I don't own one. I played with my brother.
Yeah.
The first one I honestly played was 3. That was the no, that's a lie. I saw people play 2, and then I physically played 3.
The 3 was my first one too.
Yeah.
I'm going back right now on the Xbox One for the Master Chief Collection and beating.
I never played 2. I never played 2 until the Master Chief Collection. I played 1 when Anniversary came out, and I like 1 okay, but it was made in the time where we just got out of like dungeon shooters, and that's what Halo 1 very much feels like, because it's like each corridor looks the same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like this, and it's okay.
And that's what
Halo
it
2
is.
good.
It was the transition from the dungeon shooter genre to just FPS as it is now, where you're right, it did have those corridors, but that's what they knew, and they were trying to do something different that wasn't completely foreign to everybody.
Yeah.
So you have those segments that are out in the open and all that, but it still went back to what everyone knew.
I mean, one of the things that one of my professors now, he says, it's a history course, and we keep on going forward. He says anything that is profoundly new is ugly at the beginning. So, like, if they had taken Halo and done something that's completely different, it probably would have been like, it would have taken a lot of time for it to be appreciated by the community, and that's not how that's not how business works. You can't take time to appreciate something. It has to sell day one, which is important.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean,
that's why a lot of our literature today. Sorry, I'm talking. I'm gonna
no, go
that's
for
why
it.
a lot of our literature today. We're like, talk about all these classics that nobody read back in the day because they were new and innovative, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Uh,
I think that one of its big launching points as well, going back to Halo, is it was graphically beautiful for the time.
mm,
So that was another thing I think was they also had the innovation of jumping forward graphically, where they were making it more visually appealing to get into this new, different type of game that you were unfamiliar with.
And then you look at that now and you're like, wow, these graphics are just so. You're like, oh, they're so bad.
I know, I was so proud when I played Ocarina of Time. I was like, look at these graphics, things are 3D, and now I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Why?
I played Ocarina of Time a little bit when I one of my friends had a 64. I played that a little bit, and then I never got enough hands-on time with it until I picked up a new 3DS and I was playing it, and I'm halfway through it. It's really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. But going back to Halo, Halo 1, like, it was nice to finally be in on the joke of how fucking miserable the library mission is. I fucking hate that mission so much. That mission sucks so fucking bad. Oh, I hate it so much. And somehow, when I played it again on the Master Chief Collection, because I decided to run through them, I managed to skip the entire level. Like, I managed to jump over this one wall, and I went to a cutscene.
This is like, no, I
I don't
understand.
know how. I don't know how it happened, but it fucking happened. But
I'm gonna get outed because I was okay with the
Everybody said, "Oh my God,
library.
I haven't gotten there yet in the campaign. So.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass for sure. Now, as far as my least favorite campaign, I'd probably have to say 4. I'm gonna play it again. I'm halfway through Halo 3 on the Master Chief Collection. I'm playing that again. And
That was the first one without. That was the first one that 343 produced, correct?
4, yes, that was the first one that they produced by themselves. They helped with. I'm gonna sound like an idiot here.
They probably helped. I think they helped with Reach, but of course 3 was all Bungie.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was the best one by far.
Reach.
No, I hated Reach.
I liked Reach. I liked Reach a lot. I really did. But I also liked ODST. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked ODST because too. it was a different view on it, and it wasn't just you're a Spartan, go be badass.
Yeah.
And
yeah, this one was a pain in the ass because you had to use fucking medkits like a madman. You had to be like, just, you like halfway through the game, you're like, oh right, I'm not a Spartan. I'm a fucking human. Where's my goddamn med
short too?
Because Spartans aren't humans.
Yeah, well they are humans. I am a just a badass human, not a badass modified human.
Yeah, okay.
You're above.
But 4 I liked. It was okay. I thought it was cool the direction they were going in, but I finished it and I was just like that didn't have any like significance to me like playing through 3 did, or even ODST.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff was really cool in it a lot, but I might change my opinion when I play through it again. But I don't know. It didn't have the same feeling that Halo 3. Halo 3 was a fucking masterpiece. I loved that game so much.
You know you really like something, we call it a fucking masterpiece. Some games you're like, yeah, that game's good, but when you're like, that's a fucking masterpiece.
Literal fucking masterpiece.
It's a fucking masterpiece, yeah.
Speaking of Halo 5, can segue a little bit. Halo 5 is coming out this year or next year?
This year.
Okay.
So far, they might fucking delay that shit because that's a thing we do now.
Yeah.
It's not just don't even give me 2 years later.
Well, didn't they downres GTA 5 on the PC?
No, they downresed it on Xbox One in an accident patch. Basically, what happened was they downed the res in a patch, and they said they fix it. So I'm assuming they were doing something maintenance-wise and.
Oh, okay.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
well, you have GTA 5 being delayed twice for this year. Aside from what is it? The order on PlayStation was released. Are there any other really big games coming up? I mean, I know we haven't had E3 yet. So, an E3 is where they typically tell you, "Hey, this is what we're going to be doing. Look at me."
And actually,
haven't they already discussed another Dragon Age?
E3 is kind of becoming out of date from what I'm seeing.
Well, see,
Like,
the thing with E3 is that, speaking of GTA, I'm about to pull up this article I saw. There's some 4K pictures of GTA 5 on PC. But E3, they've talked about it before. E3 went away for a while because it just pissed off the market because people were spending millions of dollars for these booths. I think the way it will end up going is the way Nintendo does it. Nintendo doesn't hold a press conference. They don't hold anything. They just host a direct where it's a video they post online saying, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do."
Nintendo just says, "Here, give me your money." That's what Nintendo does.
Pretty much.
yeah, I mean, I think it was last year, Sony and Microsoft hosted their own conferences separate from everything else, which left nothing for E3, which is why it went away, is because there was nothing to host there, and they weren't getting any revenue.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god! Okay, hold on.
Hey!
Open a new
I'm gonna
tab.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Here are some screenshots from GTA 5 on PC. And so far as it says 4K resolution, okay? Here. Scroll through here. Here, let me enlarge them. Wow, that looks fucking.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
One
That's
day, video
nice.
games are so advanced, it's just like playing through a movie.
We have to
That's
remember
pretty.
right now that we're looking at 4K pictures on a lower resolution screen via screen sharing on a website. So
I know. That's not the best.
Fantastic.
We'll post.
Loading.
Yeah, we'll come up with some sort of link situation like they have the link dump, and then we'll post it.
We can always put it in the description on
Yeah,
YouTube
have a link
later.
Yeah. We'll just have what would a good name be? Just the link pile. Yeah, that'd be a
Here's your
Pile
pile
of
of
the link
links.
landfill.
This one looks fucking really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Sorry,
now
go
that GTA 5 is presumably it's going to be on PC next month, like midway through next month. Am I not?
Maybe if they oh shit.
here we go again.
Maybe.
So
if
now,
no
what I
delay.
want to think of, what a lot of people are starting to think about is that the mod community, like that they should be,
it's gonna.
is it gonna explode like for GTA 5? Because they've been kind of eagerly waiting this for almost 2 years.
Don't think it's going to explode like, everything's coming out at once. I think maybe some of the quick to produce mods are going to come out, but a lot of those like really anticipated, like all the characters are now Barney characters or something. And great graphical mods and things like that. They're
not going to come out immediately, but they are going to be there, and that's going to, I guess, the one thing that I think about is, you have GTA 4, which has a massive lifetime just because of the mod community and how they keep on coming up with fun stuff to do in that game, even 6-7 years after it's been released.
Now let me ask you something, Andrew. Because I play on PC, but I'm not knowledgeable about this. Do you get 4 from Rockstar, or do you get it on Steam?
I get it on Steam,
Okay,
just because it's much easier to have everything in one place.
Now, do the mods have the mods for GTA 4? I can't get my words out. Is that on the workshop, or do you have to do something else through it?
I'm sure there are going to be mods on Workshop, which will just streamline it. But for things like, what was it, Arma had the DayZ mod. You had to get a separate program for that, and then drag and drop things into different folders and such. Eventually they've streamlined it, but I'm sure for some of those people who aren't wanting to go through Steam and they have their own website or something, there might be some messing with the folders and downloading programs. But other than that, I'm sure, especially with how people are now, that it's going to be streamlined into mostly Workshop.
Yeah. Now I just pulled up a list of the games that have said they're coming to E3 for 2015, and I'm actually pretty fucking excited right now.
Really? Could you?
Look really good. Yeah, I'm gonna read them off. I'm gonna say which ones are console specific, but you got Assassin's Creed Victory, which I'm hearing conflicting things. Like, we originally heard that it was going to be in Victorian London and saw screenshots of it, but I did see an article not too long ago that said it was going to take place in Japan, I think.
At this point, they're just like, we just want people to buy our stuff again.
We just want our stuff to be good again.
I will.
Yeah,
I fucking
seriously.
love Assassin's
We'll make a
Creed.
girl eventually.
The only one I didn't like was the third one. The third one, the ending of it really pissed me off because I liked the Desmond story, and then the way they ended it was just like, did that really just happen?
All right, games
okay.
for this year.
Games. Borderlands 3, which
I'm super
will be-
excited for that one.
It says to be announced platforms, but it will be on fucking next gen, that's for sure. Crackdown, which I'm excited
Really?
about that. Yeah, that's for Xbox One. They got the
Really?
Division, which the Division I'm super excited for because I have really high hopes for that game. Doom for Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Is it
Oh,
going to
really?
be like a
That's cool.
remaster?
Probably just gonna be like a rebooted game.
Yeah, I think it's a whole brand new
You have to
game.
play with the bad
Oh,
graphics.
really?
You got Fable Legends for Xbox One, Forza 6 for Xbox One, Gears of War 4, which surprises me.
Yeah.
And it says to be
Yeah.
announced. It doesn't say Xbox. Oh no, that is Xbox One. Never mind. I'm wrong. Sorry. Halo 5 Guardians, Homefront the Revolution, which I didn't play the first Homefront, but I heard it was kind of okay.
Kind of okay.
Kind of.
You got Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh,
I'm super excited for it, and I guarantee that fucking game will not come out this year. I get great
so like
excitement.
we're letting you know there's gonna be a Kingdom Hearts. Be prepared for about 10 years down the line.
Hey guys, hey guys, it's been about 10 years since
Alright.
we had the last Kingdom Hearts game, and this one's coming out. It's just not coming out for another 5 years.
Oh, you
We're
can
just gonna
I
let you know now. It's like when they were like the next Fallout will be out soon, but you know.
Yeah.
Years.
For where they're at right now in the whole dev cycle, I'd put money on spring next year.
I would say either fall this year or spring next year because I have to think. I know they work on Final Fantasy all the fucking time. All these different fucking Final Fantasy games. I'm sorry, by the way. I say fuck a lot. I'm sorry. I've noticed that. It's a bad habit. But
This is actually an intervention.
intervention. Guys.
Nathan, please.
Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? They haven't made another Kingdom Hearts game for 10 years. I would hope for the past at least 8 they've been working on a new Kingdom Hearts game and just been completely quiet about it until now. But that's my hope, and that is coming out soon.
Yeah,
Because if not, Square Enix, what were you doing with your time for 10 years? I mean, Jesus.
they took a break.
They
They
took
went
a
and
break.
got
Yeah.
coffee.
Okay, then you got Just Cause 3, which Just Cause 2 was really fun, so I might pick that one up. You got Lego Jurassic World. I don't know how that's gonna play. That sounds interesting.
It
I don't know.
looks
I kind
pretty
of
cool.
fell off the Lego wagon really early on because they changed
Marvel Superheroes.
their entire style.
Yeah,
The
Lego
last time
Marvel.
I've ever played a Lego
really
game is
fun.
when I'm fucking babysitting.
Now, I used to love the Lego Star Wars games. I kinda
Oh,
wish
those
they-
are the shit. Like 1 and 2, I will play the shit out of those.
But surprisingly, the Lego Marvel Superheroes was really good. I got that on PS4, and it was a really fun game.
Oh, see, I played the Marvel that came out for the Wii U because I babysit a little boy
Oh.
and he wanted to play that. So by play, I mean we punched people when they exploded. But I mean,
Oh, yeah.
And after that, you got Mad Max, which looks to be interesting. That's for PS4, Xbox One, PC. Got Mario Maker for PS4. No, it's for Wii U. You got Mass Effect. You got Mass Effect 4, which I never really got on the Mass
Wait.
Effect train.
see, I got on the Mass Effect train
Wasn't
after I
there,
played
like, a
Dragon
really-
Age.
Didn't they like tie up the entire story at the end of Mass Effect 3? And it was like, or like not tie up the story, but it was like they pissed off a whole bunch of people, and then people like just kind of accepted it that Mass Effect was over, and now they're gonna do another one.
BioWare got so excited because Dragon Age took off again. They're like, listen, we can do this. We can
pretty
save
much.
it.
You after that, you got Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, which I actually might play. I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game except for the one where you played as, I think it was Raiden, where you had that sword and you were just chopping shit up.
Vengeance or whatever.
Vengeance, yeah, something like that. This one looks kind of cool. And then you got Minecraft Story Mode from Telltale.
Oh yeah, that's a really interesting one. I was in a really interesting thread on the site about that, and it was kind of like discussing a lot about like what's going to happen to Minecraft if it's going to be in a story mode, if it's going to have any hinging with merging or anything, or if it's just going to be if it's going to be the story or if it's going to be a story. Because apparently there are a lot of fictions that people have written about the whole world and what it means and stuff. So
it's just like that sounds boring to me, but it's just like I'm gonna write a story about a world made out of blocks.
Even so, it's still a Telltale game.
Yeah,
like, you have to give it that. So
it does have the name brand.
It does have a name brand that's known for making fantastic games.
That's true.
Between the whole Walking Dead series that they had, Borderlands. I could have sworn there was another one.
Didn't they do Game of Thrones?
Yeah, they Game of Thrones.
That's right. That's right.
They actually did the Back to the Future ones.
That's right. Yeah. So I mean, they have the lineup, and I'm excited for it, but I am wondering where the story is coming from.
That's a very interesting one. After that, you got Mirror's Edge 2, which I didn't play the first one, but I heard it was fun. You got No Man's Sky, which is for PC and PS4, which looks really cool.
Isn't that supposed to be like the biggest video game ever?
Yeah, it's supposed to. You can spend 100 years in that game and you won't be able to visit all the planets they have. That's so they say.
So they say.
It's procedurally generated, so it should just go on forever. But it could just be the same thing over.
Well, it's not like the same thing about. I remember an old RT podcast where Gavin was talking about how Minecraft was procedurally generated, and then you'd get out into the boonies where it just could not generate
load
blocks
anymore.
Yeah. So maybe that'll happen. I don't know. Granted, Minecraft came out in 2008.
Is that when it entered beta?
I really don't know.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, somebody research that. And after that, you got Persona 5. Not a big Persona person, so it doesn't really hit anything with me. Quantum Break looks really interesting. That one looks really interesting. It's the one where this guy has a power to stop time, and so some of the fight scenes that they've showed is guy shooting at it and it'll stop time, and then run around to the other side and will shoot them.
You're almost right. And let's see, the alpha version of Minecraft was publicly released for PC on May 17th, 2009.
Yeah.
The full version was released on November 18th, 2011. So.
And they released another patch later that year in February.
Yeah. But Minecraft is one of those examples where it's not there's no I guess real release date, because it's just when they turned the 0 to the 1. It was when they went from 0.9 to 1.0. It wasn't a substantial thing where they're like, all right,
we're gonna release this. They were just like, there's this game and it's kind of public now.
Yeah. All right, after Quantum Break, there's Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I'm excited for because the Tomb Raider game was really good. That was I remember the last one I had played was Tomb Raider Legacy. That one was super fun, and that had that typical Tomb Raider game way. What's the word I'm looking for? That mechanic, the typical, And then the Tomb Raider game came out, and then it's just different and just really fun. And this one's only for Xbox One and Xbox 360 for the meantime. And then the big surprise for me is Rock Band 4.
Really?
And it's not on this list, but I know they are making a new Guitar Hero game as well.
Isn't there also going to be an Uncharted coming out?
Uncharted 4? Or I don't remember what the title is. That one's coming out this year too. You got Scalebound. I don't know what that is. It's for Xbox One. Yeah, let me see if I can pronounce this. Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. Yeah.
Is it for a Nintendo console?
You got through Shin Megami and then you just fell apart, man.
Yeah.
No, it's for PSP. Coming out on the Vita.
Yeah, for the Wii U. You got Star Fox for Wii U, which is I love Star Fox games, and the one I'm most excited for on this list is Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm super nervous for that game.
It's going to be good. Please be good.
Is that an MMO or wait?
Well, see, Battlefront, and Battlefront 2 came out on the PS2 and Xbox. Was it only PS2 or was it Xbox 360 as well?
Xbox original. I believe, as well.
Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2 for PS2 and Xbox 360. I think.
So now is this going to be like a
Googling it
remaster,
so it
or is
looks
it new
fucking
IP?
stupid.
No, not Xbox 360. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
it's the same IP, but it's being developed by EA and DICE.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
so it's going to be a Battlefield Star Wars universe.
So it's going to be riddled with microtransactions. Damn it!
Microtransactions. Yes.
You tried. Here's a gold star.
No, but honestly, I see what you mean. I am nervous for it too because they've had a pretty good track record, and then came Battlefield 4, and that was just
I didn't mind Battlefield 4 personally. It was Hardline that did that for me.
No. I'm not talking about the style or the gameplay. I love Battlefield 4. It was really fun, but just the way they handled the release and how a lot of people had server issues and just constant issues, and then they never really fixed it.
I mean, you're going to get.
But see, the thing is, most companies handle it better. For some reason, they just never officially handle it.
I can tell you a company
if we're gonna go down that route, I mean, we should talk about Rockstar because
I was just going to go there actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the original launch of GTA Online, which just was a disaster.
Yeah.
And then you have
Pretty much,
Heist, and people are reporting server issues. I mean, shouldn't they have figured out that you need a lot more servers than you think for the initial influx of people?
I think I can't blame them for that because that was a super hyped launch, and there's no way you can even begin to imagine how many people are going to be trying to log into online immediately.
Yeah, and I will agree with you on that. I mean, wasn't GTA 5 probably like the biggest
I think it was
ever released?
Biggest launch. I think it was the biggest launch in GTA history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was.
So,
Within a week, it made $1 billion. Within 3 days, it made $1 billion.
I think that gets kind of worked out because GTA was one of those franchises that you've heard about forever because it got a lot of publicity for being. My phone is going crazy. For being
awesome.
Very over the top. I forgot that word. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, over the top.
Over the top, and it was everyone's gonna, children are gonna shoot up schools because they play this. But then people actually started playing.
Saints Row is more over the top.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
Yes,
but
Saints Row is just debauchery. I mean, it's just
so
if you want to hit a dude with a dildo, you can hit a dude with a dildo.
You can do it. Power to you.
Oh, it's so fun.
I just remember hearing about that all through high school. Little moms were like, "I don't let Jimmy play that."
The thing that I'm always surprised with when it comes to GTA is that Rockstar has such successful writing in their games. I mean, I went back. My brother and I both did this. We went back and we played San Andreas last year, and even though that game is over 10 years old at this point, and the graphics are very they're graphics.
That's not all you can say for them.
The story, however, is still there, and it's fantastic. It is. It's still a joy to play.
There was that go where Ray was playing in the wrong GTA.
Oh my god!
That was I actually can tell exactly which game it was and what the storyline was just from the little bits we saw of him playing the wrong game, which I think says something about how much they've improved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I pre-ordered GTA 5 and I got San Andreas for free because of it, and I will say that it is the worst keyboard game I've ever tried to play.
Really?
Just slap the keyboard.
GTA does not work for keyboard.
No, it really doesn't. You need a controller.
Yeah,
you need a controller. So that's one thing for GTA 5. That's what I'm kind of looking to see is how many people are going to try and stay true to their keyboard and mouse, and how many people are going to admit to themselves, this is a controller game. Let's play this with a controller.
Well, it
Console wars.
Setup. Because here's the thing that I discovered is you need to the thing about the game is that especially when you're driving, it's fine. You can use WASD for all driving stuff, but once you get in the air, it's all off because you can't use W or S for brake and stop. What you actually do, which makes it a lot easier, is if you map brake or acceleration to left mouse click and brake to stop, it makes it a lot easier to do it with a mouse and keyboard setup.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to be forced to map things to different items. That should be just
like automatically put it that way, so it's not like you're fucking.
Yeah. In my opinion, if a game doesn't have great controls by default, I'm disappointed.
That's fair. That's fair.
It has its that. Of course, that rule has its own little like nooks and crannies of I get it. Maybe you want a different setup. Like for Halo 3, I used bumper jumper. Just because, I mean, being able to look around in Melee and all that while being able to jump was crucial. So that for those types of things, I understand for having a different stick layout that adheres to your game style. But for keyboard and mouse, I feel like the game,
you have a solid setup.
The key should be just.
I'm gonna turn it off.
I mean, it has to be there, or I feel like I'm just not playing the game anymore. Like having to hit G for grenade, like it makes sense in theory, but if you've ever tried to hit G while running around, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Now, and when it comes to GTA, I don't think I ever really touched GTA 4. I think I might have played it in passing, but I remember San Andreas. I remember playing that on PS2 and liking it a lot. And then, like, whenever they came up with the first trailer for GTA 5, I was just like, this seems new and really awesome. This is going to be... And then we got it, and it was a masterpiece. In my opinion, I thought it was fantastic.
The one thing that pisses me off every single time I play it, and it's so dumb, but whenever, like, once you beat the game, Franklin is always at his fucking house doing absolutely goddamn nothing. And every time you switch to it, it pans out, and then it pans back in, and I'm like, oh, what's Franklin doing? Oh, he's hanging out at his fucking house, right up in the fucking hills, and I'm just like, go out and do something. And then every time he's not at his house, he's either at the strip club, or he's out getting drunk at some convenience store because he's Franklin. It's just like,
you know what I was disappointed by? I was disappointed because I kept seeing like gameplay and different things. Every time I switched to Trevor, he wasn't passed out in the hills. He was just somewhere. He wasn't like passed out naked on the train tracks.
A lot.
Never
passed out of the train tracks.
Yeah, there was some I saw where he was naked in the train tracks. He passed out in the train tracks. But see, I didn't switch to Trevor all that often because he's my least favorite character in the game, personally.
I really like his missions. I don't like playing as him.
I don't like playing as him either. It's just, you know, I'm Franklin and Michael. I like playing as a lot.
Everybody fucks with you if you're Michael in general.
I played as Franklin mostly because of the driving ability.
Yeah, the driving ability.
Yes.
Helps
Oh, that driving ability is fantastic.
Yeah.
I got going like at I think like 250 miles an hour just going around the game using that ability, and then it was then I ejected. Yeah. No, but I have recorded clips.
I ejected.
I have recorded clips going off of the airport jump, and I did 5 front flips in a car because I was going so fast. I landed like onto the next runway. It was awesome.
Real quick to finish off there's like 3 games left on this list. There's a Star Wars game. It's a Visceral project. The guys who make Dead Space, who made Army of Two, 40th Day, and then Hardline.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. So you got Titanfall 2, which I
really so soon.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a multi-platform too. It's not just gonna be for Xbox One. But I'm curious what it's gonna be because I played Titanfall 2 on my PC and I like it a lot. It's fun, but I don't ever play any campaign thing or any of those missions. I just play whatever. And then you got Uncharted 4, Thief's End for PS4, WWE 2K16, and then the last year Nintendo, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Yoshi's Woolly World. So that's the list of confirmed games for E3 2015. More than likely, there'll be a surprise like new Call of Duty will be one.
Of course.
Because, that's not a surprise anymore.
There's probably going to be another Ubisoft title that is that they'll do because only one a year. I mean, they released like 5 different games last year.
That's a good segue for one. What do you guys think? I know most people in here probably aren't big Call of Duty players, but what do you guys think is going to be the next Call of Duty? This is just a real short topic.
You mean like the next game that just they run?
Yeah. What do you think is going to be
with a game every year?
Well, no. What do you think this year's Call of Duty is going to be? I personally think it's going to be either. I'm pretty sure it's going to be World at War II. I think that's what it's going to be.
I don't know. I haven't played, so.
I don't know, because I feel like if it were going to be World at War II, they would have done that a long time ago. The only thing that World at War had going for it was the zombies.
But see, I did see an article that was talking about, they're like, are they going to be, it was on Reddit actually, they were saying, what are they going to do, like, especially if they go back to World War II, that, you know, this last game had exosuits. Are you just going to go back to the original mechanic? And then somebody was like, well, what you could do is you could do World War II, except it's in an alternate universe, where it's like a more futuristic World War II and have some sort of interesting storyline that could tie in with the other. I was like, that could work, I guess.
It could work if they did it right.
It's a little bit of a stretch, though.
It is a little bit of a stretch, yeah. I would kind of hope for Black Ops 3 because the Black Ops games are easily my favorite Call of Duty games, especially the second one.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 was a shit ton of fun.
That was so much fun. That was probably my favorite midnight release that I went to, which is a segment I wanna do in a second. But that was easily my favorite midnight release that I attended at a GameStop. That was a whole lot of fun.
I think that's the only midnight release I've gone to was Black Ops 2.
I've gone to Black Ops 2, Master Chief Collection, and Assassin's Creed Unity. That was on the same day. I've gone to Ghosts. I went to Advanced Warfare, and I went to. I think that's it. And there's only one that something bad actually happened. I don't know if you heard about this, Artemis. I don't know when you moved, but when Black Ops 2 came out in the midnight release, there apparently were some guys that were in the very back of the line. Some dudes walked out and they were carrying the care package for Black Ops 2, the Prestige Edition, and I guess their car was parked over by Staples. You know where the GameStop's at, right?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, it's over by that Walmart.
Yeah, I think they were parked over by Staples, so they walked back there, and there were some guys that robbed them at gunpoint for their Call of Duty.
Holy shit! I did not hear about this.
I didn't hear about that until the next year when I was talking to the manager, and he was telling me about it.
But the thing is, I went to the Dragon Age Inquisition midnight release over at that GameStop, and I was like, they were walking people out. Like that was another fear. They walked people out to their cars. So it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I feel threatened.
That's probably that. Granted, I've only been to a few, but that GameStop probably has my favorite group of people that work there. The crew there is awesome.
Yeah, I really like that GameStop. Like the GameStop back in my hometown, which is Plainview, which is up near the fucking Oklahoma. It was fucking awful. It was like all like dude bros who all the guys who worked there were like, oh, are you looking for Animal Crossing? And I'm like, I just want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. I feel threatened.
Yeah.
It was like asshole guys. Like no matter what GameStop you went down in that area.
Yeah, if you've ever been to the one in Lufkin, I don't like the guys at the one in Lufkin. They're kind of assholes. I'm not gonna lie.
I really like the one here. Like the one in where I live, which is Mac, is like really good.
Yeah. I think that I know Chris is really cool. I'm gonna name drop. I don't really care. Chris is really cool. Ariana's really cool. And then I don't know if you've met Adam yet. Adam will talk to you for a long time. Yeah, he'll talk to you for a long time. But topic I was gonna get into is I don't know if anybody else has attended one. What was your favorite experience at a midnight release for a video game?
Never gone to one, so.
You really should. It's a good time. There's I think only 2 people have gone.
I had 2 favorites because I did really like the Dragon Age Inquisition one because they had set up a few of like the original like Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age 1. And I went to the one in Tyler, So it was one of the GameStops there, but there was somebody who did art of the Chantry exploding from the second Dragon Age that they had
That's
like
cool.
plastered up in the back, and it was really cool, and like somebody could take it home. Like they did a winning
That's
to see
cool.
who got to take it home, and then the Majora's Mask one was cool.
I didn't go to that one. I didn't go. I just went to the store the next day and picked it up because I
Yeah,
didn't.
so they had like a theme. They had like little decorations hanging that people had made, and I was like, "This is cool. This feels like home." So all the other ones have just been midnight releases where everybody's standing in line trying not to look at each other.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And you're like, oh.
People, human interaction.
Human interaction.
Yeah, the only one I've been to, they had like a raffle. It was at a GameStop, obviously, and I won the raffle, so I got like a swag bag with posters and like promotional shit.
Yeah.
And it was back on the 360, so I had like a little thing for like a icon pack for Call of Duty, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Was it Black Ops 2 or was it?
I'm thinking back now. I don't think it was Black Ops 2. I think it was Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, it was a while back. Yeah.
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 And then,
Andrew, have you been to one?
Yeah.
I've not been to one.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Graham. What were you saying?
Well, it's just like I'd stop going to midnight releases when I could wake up and go to Walmart and pick it up the day of, and didn't have to sleep, lose sleep.
Dude, like midnight releases are like an experience, though.
Yeah. See, I'd always wanted to do it, and then me and my buddies were like, Black Ops 2's coming out. Let's go to the midnight release. We had this like all planned out. We had like a cooler and shit, and Artemis is going to be the only one who knows what I'm talking about. Do you know who Mark is?
Mark.
I'm not going to say his last. I'm not going to say his
I
last.
know, but like defining features.
About 5. He's about shit. He's about like 5'9". Kind of a bigger dude. He's got a beard.
Oh no, never mind. The only Mark I know is clean shaven.
Yeah, he's got a beard. He's nice. Anyway.
When you only describe a person as he's nice.
He's nice. Yeah, he's friendly. But anyway, so we get this all planned out. Black Ops 2 probably would have to be my favorite. Advanced Warfare's was fun, but Black Ops 2's was really fun. So we get there like before they even open. We get there, and we pull up, and then Mark pulls up beside us, and he goes, "Hey, are you guys here for the midnight release?" We're like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, I'll be right back. I live over there. I'm gonna go grab my TV and my Xbox." I said, "Okay." And so apparently he'd done it before, and so all day we had his TV set up in front of GameStop, and we're just playing old Call of Duties to. And Eric and Andrew, the way GameStops normally do Call of Duty midnight releases is towards the end of the night, around 11 or so. They do it earlier now for some reason.
It's like now, like midnight releases of movies happen at like fucking 10, and you're like, cool.
Yeah, they actually changed it to where now we're doing it on New York time. So in Texas, we actually get the game at 11 instead of 12.
Right.
Which is interesting. Anyway, so what they'll do is they'll basically set up a mini LAN setup in the back of the store. Now it's getting harder because some don't, like Ghosts, you couldn't do LAN, so it was a really weird setup. But we basically have a tournament in the new Call of Duty game, and see who wins, and whoever wins gets a copy of the game. And I don't think they just do that for Call of Duty. They did it for the Master Chief Collection as well, except we played, like, I think it was either Halo 2 or Halo 3. That's what we played to see who won. But it's a really good time.
Yeah. Time check is fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely one.
If you've never been to a midnight release of a video game or a midnight release of like a nerdy fucking movie,
I've been to a midnight release of a nerdy fucking thing before.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, it was great.
Those are fucking experiences, man. If you get the normal people who are like into it, then you get the weirdos who are like completely dressed up for like a midnight release of a movie.
I went dressed up with about 20 friends to the last Harry Potter.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, we went to see, okay, so I'm a huge Hobbit fan. I have, like, a Hobbit tattoo. So, like, of course, that was, like, a birthday present, pretty much, as they took me out to the midnight premiere of that. There was a guy who stood up at the front the whole time dressed as a Hobbit. He wasn't there with anybody. He didn't talk to anybody. He never sat down. He just stood there, and we're all like, all right. I mean, you do you. You
I will
always
do
have
that.
these weird ass people.
I will do that for episode 7. I watched Star Wars
You're
since
just gonna
I
stand
was
at the front.
a baby.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
Basically, the story of that is when I was a baby. That's whenever like Dora the Explorer was like popular. And so I would always watch Dora the Explorer, and my mom got so fucking sick of hearing, where's the map? On the map. So she said one day she was like, "Fuck this." I don't think she said "fuck this" because I was 1, but she puts in
You don't know
episode. I don't
that.
know. Let me hop back in my time machine and check. But she puts in episode 1.
Is your time machine in the form of a hot tub?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anyway, she puts in A New Hope, and I stood there at the TV and just
Like stared.
I just watched it, yeah, and then I fell in love ever since. But I'm so excited for this new Star Wars. I'm going to get a caravan of nerds, and we're gonna like, yes, I'm gonna bring a lightsaber. I'm gonna do something. I'm just gonna get so hyped for that movie, and it's gonna be a good time. I'm definitely gonna do that for that. But yeah, it's the same thing.
The Explorer. As a side note, my cousin now instead of saying I'm the map thing, she goes, "But we have GPS," and that frightens me.
No, what's the thing? Going back to the Explorer.
Yeah.
One thing that ruins your childhood is when you get smart enough to not say anything when she asks you a question, and then when she just straight up talks, you're like, "Oh no, they lied to me."
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? It's the same thing with midnight releases for games. Like you have those guys that are like me. We're just like kind of dressed up a little bit. We may have like some
merch
gamer.
on.
Yeah, like some merch.
Hello,
Yeah, merch.
hello, fellow nerds. I am among you.
Yeah, and then you have the people that are like, "I'm here to play the game."
Video game. I haven't seen the sun in 2 weeks.
Oh, so they're like Lester.
Yeah, basically. I've wired
What's
your
a girl
guts
doing here? Yeah.
I'm creepy and live alone in a wheelchair.
I don't actually need the wheelchair. I just use it. Also, I'm here for a girlfriend, but I don't know how to interact with other people. I love those guys. They're like, I'm going to hit on you, but I don't know how to hit on you, so I'm mainly just being creepy. That happens a lot at midnight releases.
Yeah. So, there's another topic on here. What do you guys think about digital versus hard copy?
I think that's actually it's an interesting segue coming from like midnight releases to like,
Yeah, digital. Like you can have it preloaded to your console that night when it comes out, and then
just have it unlocked.
Yeah, it's like it kind of takes away the experience of midnight releases, but at the same time, like that's just another reason I don't have to leave my house.
Yeah. My opinion on
midnight
it.
releases force social interaction.
My opinion on it is I like digital and I like hard copy. However, I prefer to have games on my shelf. This is what I own. But for something like this, when I got my PS4 back, I bought 2 games. I bought Hardline and then I bought Minecraft for PS4.
Oh,
I should have really just bought this digitally because that's what I had on my 360. But I was there games. I was like, okay, I'll just buy a copy of that. So this is something I would buy digitally. I wouldn't really buy a hard copy of this.
So kind of like more arcade games.
It also kind of feels like when you buy it digitally, you don't have to give them your money. You don't have to hand them your card and like receive the game. You're just like, oh, I'm just downloading this, and then later you're like, money is coming out of my account, and then you're like, oh yeah, I bought that game. I feel like it's much easier to spend more money digitally.
Oh, definitely, but this is so much easier because I don't know where half my discs are for like my 360, so I just don't play them. When it's all digital, you never have to worry about it.
Yeah, digital, it can transfer from system to system too, usually. You don't have to worry about like the stupid thing with Xbox 360 that it doesn't revert to Xbox One.
Yeah, exactly. Digitally should carry on. So I would expect my game for Xbox One digital to play next gen.
Yeah, I was like, whatever the fuck they choose for next gen Xbox.
I mean, the thing that I like about it is that I can be really, really fucking lazy, and I don't have to get up.
You just have to type in your password and you have a game.
Yeah. Or it's like, the other thing that I think about is, especially for me, since I go to school in a different state than where I'm from, and my PS4 is at home, it's not with me, the thing that I like the idea is that I can, in theory, here I can sign in on someone else's machine if they're like living with me, and then you can still like download stuff onto it if you know it's DRM. It's just the DRM issue.
Digital is also very beneficial because Artemis, you don't know this story, but my consoles got stolen.
Oh no!
A couple different times
by the same person.
By the same person.
Beat their ass.
So I bought an Xbox One when Advanced Warfare came out. It was the 1 terabyte Xbox One version. The 1 terabyte Advanced Warfare version. Anyway, so I got a digital copy of Advanced Warfare and some other games. Well, when that got stolen, I got a new Xbox. I'm like, shit, I gotta buy Advanced Warfare again. And then when I plugged it up, I went to my games and apps. They were like, here, you have these that are ready to install. And it was like 4 games that I got digitally. I was like, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like I live not far from where I go to school, but I still like live away from where I go to school. My dad also has an Xbox One, but he's a cheap motherfucker, so he takes all the discs I bring home for holidays. And so the great thing about like having it just on your consoles, you don't have to be like, well, I'd love to play this game, but it's fucking missing.
Yeah.
The thing that happened to me, though, I had a bad experience with digital, was on my 360, I was transferring from the Pro version I had to the Slim Halo Reach Special Edition. And so I was trying to transfer all my data over, and it corrupted every digitally downloaded game I had.
Oh, holy fuck.
So I
lost... just cry.
I lost $330 worth of games.
Oh.
Can't you like contact them and get that reimbursed in some way?
I did. I contacted them and I told them, look, I transferred to a different console. It's the same generation, but it is the Slim as opposed to the Classic or whatever. And they said there's nothing we can do because there's no way that you can prove that you had them. I'm like, I have receipts for them. And they're like,
you
sorry,
also still have it like on your system, like your old one. You're just like, I hate that shit when they're like, well, I just can't help you. And you're like, yes, you can.
You can fucking help me. Do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Help me.
No, but I mean, the only reason I found that out is because I wanted to play Oblivion again. And I went and tried to play it, and it was just, hey, by the way, you don't have this. What? Excuse me?
See, I had a heart attack because the way the new Dragon Age Inquisition works is that you have to be signed in on your Xbox to play it. But it doesn't just say like anything else, like, oh, you need to be signed in. It tells you, oh, your save file's corrupt. So I got through the first time after playing the 12-hour prologue, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. And it was like, your file's corrupt. I was like, excuse me, motherfucker.
I'm having PTSD.
And then you log in, and it's like, oh no, everything's here, everything's fine. But like your heart stops in your chest, and you're like,
no. What happened to me for that is I was going back to Fallout 3. I beat the game. I had all but 4 side quests done, and I had all the unique weapons.
Jeez. That's a lot of time.
I went and I was gonna beat the game. I was 100% it. Get on. File save is corrupted. Gone. Done.
And the file save corrupted attacked.
That was 200 hours.
And then you just want to cry. You just want to like hold your system and cry.
I like dropped my controller and left. I was done.
Mm-hmm. You're done.
Does Dragon Age really have a 12-hour prologue? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long prologue to get to actually like into plot.
I think the longest prologue I had was in Assassin's Creed 3. I think that was like 4 hours, because it's 3 or 4 hours before you actually, as an adult, put on an assassin's suit. First you're the dude's dad, then you're a fucking kid playing fucking hide and seek for an hour. That was a pain in the ass. I was like, I don't care. Literally, there's not that much downtime in any of the other Assassin's Creed games. Like you in this Assassin's Creed 2, you like were this like bachelor. You had sex with this chick, and then you had to run away. Oh, your family's dead. Sorry, you become an assassin. Assassin's Creed 3, hey, let's see how his dad lived. Oh, he had sex with this Indian woman. Now he's gonna give birth to this assassin who's gonna be the main protagonist in this game. Oh, you don't get to go straight to him. He has to be a fucking kid. You have to watch him play hide and seek. You have to do this other shit. You have to go on a spiritual journey. And then you meet a black dude who gives you an assassin outfit. Come the fuck on! It's not that.
Yeah, you're an assassin. That's it. The way Dragon Age Inquisition's set up is that you come out and you're like, fuck, I got a weird mark on my hand, and everybody else is dead. And it's like, you're a prisoner. Nobody trusts you. You have to go through all this shit, and then you have to build up levels. And then they're like, eventually, after all of this, and you see Corypheus, who's the main boss, like, and then they're like, oh, by the way, now you're the Inquisitor. I was like, what the fuck was I doing before? Why was I helping you assholes if I wasn't even a part of this before?
Yeah, that makes me think about Skyrim for some reason, and there's a picture I saw on Facebook about a year ago that made me laugh my ass off. It was really funny. It was a picture of the guy who was taking in the very first part of Skyrim when they're like, okay, who are you? It was a picture of him, and it's like, dude, you have no idea. I've seen some shit. I've seen somebody change from a fucking goblin to like an elf. So like, I was just like,
you just kind of feel like an identity crisis.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for sure.
That's the funniest opening for me was the fucking the Dragon Age 2 intro, because you start, you choose what you're gonna be, and then it plays with the original like default character through the opening, and then it switches all your cutscenes to the character you made. It's like your siblings are like, who are you?
Huh.
I think they fixed that later, but I remember the original. I was like, "What? Why did I fuck up?"
So I think I have a topic that I've been wanting to talk about with people for a while.
Go ahead.
It's a little bit hard to set up, but here let me go. So basically, when the Xbox 360 and the PS3 were released, I know they weren't at the same time, but over time they became a lot different consoles than they were. Like the 360 that you had at the very end of the generation was loads different than what it was at the beginning. And now that we're almost 2 years into this generation, I kind of was wondering what do you guys think is going to happen to Xbox and PS4 for the next 6-7 years that they are around, and progression, and what has happened that has changed really?
Xbox is just going to be Xbox money signs. It's be the next generation name.
It really is hard to say because nobody expected game systems to make that much of a push to the entertainment space.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to say what would happen, I would have to say the same thing that the IG/Funhouse guys have said before, is that and it's just going to become subscription based. We're going to stop this whole thing of wholesale buying video games, and we're going to move to a thing where you buy a box and then you just can buy games on that box by paying X amount of dollars a month, and you just play whatever. I think that's what will happen. But you are right. I remember like Xbox 360, for example. PS3 kind of was mostly the same throughout. If I'm correct, I may be wrong because I got PS3 last. I got PS3 when it was on its last leg, pretty much. Xbox 360, you started with the blades. That's what the dashboard looked like. You had the blades that were cool at the time because you hadn't seen them before, but if you go back and actually see that, it's like it's just super slow.
Yeah.
You go to that, you basically played games. You can do some stuff with your avatar, and that was mostly it. And then they went on from there, and then made different tweaks to the dashboard to see what it looked like. And then towards the end of its generation, you mainly just play video games for probably about 5 years. And then within the last 2 years, they started to make a push for, hey, let's make this an entertainment console. Let's make this something that you can...
The thing that I thought about that, though, is, you had the Xbox One really push for...
TV.
And it's like kind of...
It's gone. It's not here. I mean... You don't see people using Xbox One for doing TV. I mean, and then they released the Kinectless console. I mean, that was their whole big shtick, and that's what really changed. I mean, the other thing that you talk about, video games
you're like,
entering,
you can talk to your Xbox.
yeah, well, video games entering into the entertainment sphere is that per price per hour, video games are the cheapest form of entertainment because you play a game for 50 hours, 60 hours. That's less than $1 an hour, and you go and see a movie that's like $6 an hour, $7 an hour, depending on what you get. In it, that's just ticket alone.
Yeah. And I mean, it goes to the same thing that, like, as far as entertainment consoles, it's like, I had to buy a new Kindle. I broke my fucking Kindle. But it's like, that used to be just for books. Like, you got a Kindle, you read books on it. Now, when I went to actually look at, like what they said about the thing, no mention of books or reading time or anything. It was like, you can do all these apps and watch all this Netflix on this. And I was like, okay, but that's not what you're looking for. It's like everything is shifting towards that.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of go like when I bought the Xbox, I waited for the Kinectless version because it's like I don't care about the Kinect. I don't want to talk to my Xbox. I don't want to look at it.
I actually enjoy it. I really
it's really nice when you can't find your fucking controller.
Well, see, I bought the Kinect for the 360 a little bit after it came out, and I used it okay. The only fun I had really using it was on Skyrim because you could actually go like Fusroda and then you can talk. And I'll get into a funny story in that in a little bit, but yeah, this one's nice because I walk in my room, I get off work, walk in my room, say, Xbox on. I don't want it to turn on right now. I say Xbox on, and then
fucking AI just.
And then what I hate about Kinect is I wear glasses most of the time. If I'm not wearing glasses, the way I have it set up, it won't recognize me. So I have to be like, sign in, choose this person, and then I will just go like, okay, go to Netflix, go to Hulu or whatever. And it's really nice. It's a really nice way to navigate. I don't use gestures for anything just because I haven't gotten it to work yet. But to me, it's just really handy. Now, as far as the TV, I don't have cable. I just watch Xbox and Hulu. I just watch Netflix and Hulu. I don't use cable anymore, so that's kind of useless to me.
See, I think the Kinect thing kind of freaks me out because we have a friend who signed it on my Xbox because he no longer has a TV. So it doesn't even, because the way he has his set up, mine just automatically signs me in usually, but his recognizes his face, so he'll just sign in on my Xbox when he walks into the room. And it's like in the middle of stuff, and you're just like, oh, like that's a little freaky to me. That's like, I recognize you person. It scares me.
At first,
from Xbox to Xbox.
At first, I was like, yeah, that kind of freaks me out. It's always watching. But now, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I can't tell you how many times my Kinect has seen me naked. I don't care. I literally don't care. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it probably should, but I just don't think about it all that much.
It's like those horror stories of like, but your webcam can turn on at any time, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I really don't. But it's fun. One of the things going back to like the way
you can just say you don't think they're already watching us.
Yeah, they're already watching us.
Well, everyone's
exactly. They're watching us right now because they're watching this very nice podcast. Hello. No, but what's funny?
Brother.
Yeah. What I think is funny is the transition or the switch. It's like back in last generation, PS3 to me was the entertainment system because it played Blu-ray. It was more for entertainment. Like it was okay to play games on. The games didn't look as good as they did on Xbox 360. They really didn't. If you wanted to game, you played on Xbox 360. Now it's switched. I much rather prefer playing games on my PS4 than I do to my Xbox One. I have more games on my Xbox. I have
turned on my PS3 in like 3 fucking months for that exact reason.
Yeah, I was talking about Xbox One and PS4.
Oh, sorry, backed up.
Oh, okay. I was like, but no, I prefer to play my games on my PS4. Because I like playing on my monitor better than my TV, just because I like the response time better on it. But it's just funny how this new generation Xbox is like, we're gonna be the entertainment console. We're gonna do, and that's what it is to me. That's why I have an Xbox. It's plugged up to my TV, so I can watch Netflix. I can watch all this other shit. I can play Blu-rays on it, and then play some games.
Yeah. At first, when the Xbox One launched, I was like, fuck this TV and the football and all that stuff. But then I got it, and it's like, well, I can just plug this into the wall and into my TV, and I don't need a cable box because I don't have cable anyway. It's
You
like
don't
I
have
don't
to
need
pay
to
for
have like
fucking
a
cable.
Roku or anything else. It's gonna run all my stuff, and I can game on it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like this is,
Xbox One kind of operates as like the all-in-one, unless you have both systems.
Which console do you think is gonna integrate like streaming from a computer to it?
it's
Xbox.
Xbox because of
Xbox.
Windows 10. It's gonna.
Windows 10's coming out, and they're making a big push to where you can play your Xbox games on your PC, and hopefully play your PC games on your Xbox.
Yeah,
That would be fucking awesome.
If we could do that, I'd be sold forever. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Never buy another PlayStation.
The thing we can't ignore in that sense is the Steam machine, because that's going to be that, and it's going to create the market. So it's going to be interesting to see whether the Steam machine can hold ground or whether it's creating a market for itself to get pushed out of by bigger companies like Microsoft.
Yeah, to me, in order for the Steam machines to survive, if that happens and you can play your Steam games on your Xbox One, that basically makes those useless. In order for those to survive, they need to be less than the Xbox One. They need to cost less than the Xbox One. That means they'll be at a loss, because I've seen some Alienware ones that are $600 or more.
Yeah.
Some really powerful ones. And the Alienware one they put out, the one that's I think $299, it might be $3 something. It went up there, the specs wise. It was up there with Xbox One and PS4. It didn't look as good, but
it didn't look shitty.
It didn't look shitty either. It was pretty impressive for a console that decently priced.
Mm-hmm.
But
so just update. Basically, the Steam machine can go from about 500 to 5,000, depending on specs that you put into it.
I don't know why. I mean, I know you want a powerful machine, but shit.
No.
Those are just Steam OS machines. If we're just talking about the Xbox can stream through it, then I mean they have a few things like that already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other thing that would be, a dividing factor would be, I guess, Steam machine is just as of right now, it's just Alienware. It's Dell.
Yeah.
So for Steam, it would be just, is Valve going to make a deal with Microsoft, and are they going to expand the market and let Dell become a console? Are they going to let Sony and Microsoft in on the market? Because if so, they make bank on people then saying, I want to play all these games in my living room without dragging my huge machine upstairs. So then they drop $1,500 on a Steam machine, so they have the quality in a smaller package. But then everyone's doing that, and now Valve is making bank. Because now everyone wants to get on that market, because that's what's popular. You have Steam, which is a superpower in games, with all their sales and everything, going out, getting into different companies.
Yeah.
That strategy that they have in digital distribution is one that I don't know why is not more widely used. Like that, I think PS4, I think I think PSN has the closest to it because they offer some really good deals, but it's like fucking Steam Summer Sale, everybody raves about, and it's you can get games at really, really good prices. Like I got last year I got Far Cry 3 for like $7, and then I got like Splinter Cell games for like $3. I mean, it's ridiculous the sales they have on those games.
Mm-hmm. And I bought the BioShock series for $12.
I did too. I bought it for like 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
See, I got all the Amnesia games for like I think it was $5 for like all of them when they did one of those sales.
So that also might be a reason why it's not a huge thing with all these larger companies like Sony and Microsoft, is because they'd be losing money.
Yeah, they don't want to give up the money.
Exactly. You can pay, was it like $20 now for the first BioShock for your console, or you can pay X amount to play on your PC, which does have its own thing where you say,
PC versus.
I have to build a PC or buy a PC that then can handle those games that you're getting for cheap. So in a way, it kind of balances each other out, where the consoles are cheaper, albeit but they also have the more expensive games that don't have these crazy sales where you spend $1,500 for a computer that then runs the same game, but at a better frame rate and better graphics and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some games that, like, I definitely agree that PC gaming is probably the better, for sure. But there are definitely some games that I will play on PC and I will play on console. Like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a console game, hands down.
Yeah.
It's
like the GTA 5 and stuff.
Yeah,
Shooters
GTA 5 is console
shooters
game.
in general are console games to me only because it doesn't have the hacking community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to, I definitely prefer playing Left 4 Dead 2, Titanfall, and one other one on PC. Left 4 Dead 2 is fucking fantastic on PC.
Left 4 Dead 2, here's how I see it. So for Left 4 Dead 2, the hacking community, okay, they're hacking, killing a bunch of zombies. You don't have to play versus. You can play, co-op or whatever. And so you have a dude doing 10k damage with a pistol, whatever. Titanfall has it really nicely laid out where if you are caught hacking, you can still play the game, but you are now forever tossed in the lower league of you're now playing with everybody else that is hacked.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
So
I like the mods that they offer for Left 4 Dead 2 because they're really fun and they're really my favorite one, and I want to live stream it. I can't really live stream in the current setup I have. I have to wait until I move. But I really want to. My favorite mod is when you can turn the zombies into Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, and it's just it's so funny. It's a good time for sure.
I think the best games I've ever played for PC was the first 2 Dragon Ages. Like, those are kind of built to be, like, PC games.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so then speaking of that, what's your favorite game of all time?
God.
Oh, fuck, dude. Majora's Mask. Like, the original in 64.
Okay.
That's just because I'm, like, loyal. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, mine personally is Halo 3 just because that was where I began, and I spent so much time on that game. And
that's where I began on a newer generation. That's definitely for sure.
But that was one of the greatest games I ever played, just because I have so many great memories of people I played with, and I just had a great time with the game.
See, I think Majora's Mask was my favorite. Majora's Mask was my favorite just because it was like, I was like little and I was like, dude, this is a freaky, weird, creepy game, and it didn't fit with any of the other Zelda games. And now as I've like grown up, I'm like, well, this game is really fucked up. And so it's just kind of, it's one of those games that like stuck with you.
So nothing has changed.
That game. Yeah, nothing's changed. It's still fucked up, but now I understand it.
I almost want to say that Halo is my favorite as well, just because it's like I have a thing when I listen to music. I'll listen to music like back from early 2000s, and then I will like associate that song with a memory of me feeling really good at that time, or it was a really good memory, and that's what I associate Halo 3 with, because it was a really good time in my life. It was just it brings me back to like the old school like LAN parties and all kinds of shit like that.
Yeah.
That's I would definitely probably have to agree with you that Halo 3 is probably my favorite game of all time. But there's probably something that I'm missing just because it's such a broad spectrum to cover.
I mean, it's...
For me, I'd probably have to say either Sly or Ratchet and Clank, because that's just, really fun times I had with my brother, just hanging out and, doing stupid challenges, challenging each other to go, hey, jump off of that and try and all the way back to the safe house,
Yeah, like I don't have a favorite of all time. It's like a favorite for like when I was younger. I had these kind of nostalgia games that I still like Mario Party. Play that with my brother. Just super fun. Countless hours into that. Today, yeah, like Halo, that holds a special place. It's just like games that hold special places. I can't really pick one because this one was awesome when I was younger, might not be awesome today,
right.
And like I appreciate things differently now. So
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of those things that like Jack and Daxter when you were like 6 was utterly engaging and very hard, but like you hit like
Yeah.
older and you're like, dude, this is easy
Yeah,
and
like
dumb.
Super Mario Sunshine was so fucking hard. I can't. I had so much trouble in that game. It's unreal. You know, I've actually only beaten one Zelda game, and I actually didn't beat it. I was almost to the end. I've almost finished one Zelda game, and that was Twilight Princess.
Yeah, no,
Twilight
I got real proud. I beat all of the ones that were out, and I told my mom I was a freshman in college, so this was 2 semesters ago. I was like, okay, so I've done this, so before the next one comes out, I'm gonna go get a tattoo, because I did it right now. I was like, it may be years before this opportunity is presented again.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat Ocarina of Time, but the
That
only
one's
Zelda game.
long.
Yeah, it is long. The only
Yeah.
hands-on time that I had with a Zelda game was I forgot the name of it again, Twilight Princess,
Mhm.
and I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought the motion controls were cool. I got to Ganondorf's castle, and then I couldn't figure out my way through it, and then I sold my Wii. So.
See, I think a lot of people didn't like Twilight Princess because the motion controls were so new,
Hmm.
which is really odd because like I was excited about them. Everybody else was like, no, I don't like it.
I don't
Yeah.
like the motion controls either.
They did a lot better when they released Skyward Sword. They were more like clean,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
there
they
were
were
still
kind of.
bosses. You had to do like the little Skyward Strike, and you're like, fucking, I'm doing it. I'm doing the motion.
Like
Yeah.
I want to go buy another N64. I want to go buy another GameCube from Nintendo. I don't want to buy a Wii. I don't want to buy a Wii U. I want a
Yeah.
controller.
I
And I want
really hope
Mario.
that.
I got a Wii U
This is
from my
this is.
grandmother for Christmas, and literally what
Uh,
she told me, she's like, "This game system has the same satanic symbol you got tattooed on yourself." And I was like, "Thanks, Grandma."
Oh, wow.
I kind of want a Wii U to play like the new Mario Kart, the new Mario game, but
Is it really worth
this
it
is
just
this is a
just
good
for that?
yeah, this is a good segue to the new Nintendo console. I
Mhm.
really hope everybody was hoping for the Wii U. They were hoping for a more towards like a sequel to the GameCube instead of the Wii.
Mhm.
I'm really hoping that this next one will be a sequel to the GameCube or something along those lines.
I'm
I
gonna
hope so.
gouge my fucking eyes out if it's another DS. All they
I'm
release is like DSs. And I'm like, oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and call that it's gonna be a VR device.
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'd support that. And I think on that note, we should probably start thinking about wrapping up because we've been going for almost about an hour and 40 or
Mhm.
so, or like
Okay.
hour 35.
Yeah, let's have the last topic be. Andrew actually sent me this one. So you said VR. What do you guys think about
HoloLens.
the HoloLens? I'm excited to see
That looks
about
fucking
the
cool.
gaming peripheral because when they showed that shit for like Minecraft, that was really cool. And so, what do you guys think about VR? And this big push for VR in gaming. Do you think that it's going to be one of those things that it's going to be a staple? Like this is how gaming is going to be for the next X amount of years, or
I kind of
Well,
see
I
it
mean,
more personally as like the whole motion control thing, where
that could
it
be a
was
thing? Yeah.
really awesome at the time. It was a neat innovation. Okay, let's move past it and get back to where we started. I think it'll have great implications in general for creative purposes,
Yeah.
but in a sense of gaming, I don't see it as launching off because I think of the game, or the movie Gamer, I think it was with what's his name,
Gerard Butler. Yeah,
Jared Butler.
that was a really good. I like that movie a lot. That's
Yeah, so that idea of walking into a bubble and you walk around a 3D space and that's how you play. And I kind of see it as that, but just being the headset, but I don't see it taking off.
Like
yeah,
well,
it's
have you
kind of
guys
like
seen the
it's
video
too
of
close to
people?
sci-fi.
Mhm.
Have you seen the video of people playing like I think it was like Half-Life 2 on VR, and it's like you're like harnessed into a machine. I actually think that
Oh,
VR is not where you want to be going, and it's more AR, where you can
yeah.
be you
Yeah.
can be sitting down, but like you have stuff that's going on around you, and you can be like, whoa, I'm gonna go interact with this over there, but it doesn't make you have
you don't
to
have to
be
walk.
fully immersed.
Yeah, the I know what you're talking about. The machine. It's I'm gonna quickly search for the name of it. It's a treadmill basically. It's a virtual reality treadmill, I don't
See,
remember
these
the
things
name.
just remind me of that fucking Yu-Gi-Oh episode, and I'm like, oh, let's not do this. This is probably a bad idea.
I just don't think it goes far enough. Like what you were saying, Andrew. Like you put on the goggles and it's like, okay, I can look around, but I still gotta use a controller or I gotta use motion controls. And I gotta sit at my desk. It's like this
Move
would be
your
great
feet like you're
for
walking.
yeah, this
Well,
would be great for
that's
some
the step
games,
that
but
Google Lens is trying to step forward. Is HoloLens is what it's trying to do is it's trying to turn it into an AR where you're walking around
Yeah.
with these goggles on, and you will have little poster boards. Say like I have weather up on my wall here, or
Yeah.
a screen here. So that's kind of what they're trying to push towards. But in the time frame that we have right now and where we're at technologically, in general, I don't see that taking off and being really useful yet.
I could see it being useful for like a business kind of environment, like if you had like an engineer or somebody that's 3D modeling. But
I don't think it has a future in gaming, though. I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
The name of it,
niche
the name
market.
of it I looked up was the Virtuix Omni, and it's basically a treadmill, pretty much. You're walking. It's not like a traditional one. It's a circular
Oh yeah.
circular area, and you're walking through it, and you have VR. And the demonstration they showed off when they did the Kickstarter was Skyrim. Like you're walking around in Skyrim, and you could actually get a workout because you could walk to the places in Skyrim. Which I was like, okay,
They missed the point
cool.
of video games. We
But
stay
that's it.
inside. We don't play sports.
The thing is that it's a cool concept, but what's the practicality of that? Oh, I want to play Skyrim. Let me bust out my virtual reality treadmill. And
Let me go
harness
get in
that up.
workout clothes.
That's why it won't take off. That's why it
Yeah.
won't take off in video games.
I just pulled up a picture, and it's a picture of a dude with an Oculus Rift, one of those old like plastic guns from any Nintendo
Oh
console,
no.
and then the giant treadmill thing.
Yeah.
And he's in the middle of his living room with cords going everywhere.
I'm curious
So-
about I'm curious about what Valve's VR headset's going to be. What it's going to be focused on. Because
Valve's-
every single one of them has a distinct thing. Like Oculus, PC, Samsung VR. It's a headset you can put your Samsung device in and watch stuff through there. That's pretty simple. Morpheus for PS4. Valve's? They already have the Oculus Rift for PC, so what is
Right.
Valve's going to be the target for? I don't really know. Is it
I
gonna
would
be-
assume the same market as being just a competitor, having that brand name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, competition
Obviously,
spurs
yeah, competition.
innovation. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I wonder what's going to be different with Valve's VR versus Oculus.
It's compatible with SteamOS and the new Steam controller and made for
Yeah.
these games, and that's probably going to be it.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
I
why I'm not excited for it yet.
It'll be
Yeah,
like
yeah, they-
Left 4 Dead 3's featured on it or something. And
Yeah. You can only get Left 4 Dead 3, Half-Life 3, Portal 3 on the new Valve VR.
That'd be a
It's-
dick
it's-
move.
Portal would be pretty fun on it.
I would play the shit out of Portal if it was in VR. That would be so fun.
But then, like other games, I think of like Call of Duty, not really. The new GTA, like first person, that'd be cool. For like 5 minutes, and then I'd
For
I'd
5
crash
minutes,
every
like-
and then crash
Yeah.
every time. And all right,
And it's something that's something me and Graham talked about last night. Is the GTA 5 first person is cool. I
But you
barely.
go out of it all the time. You're like, this is cool, but I don't want to play this game like this.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
practical. It's difficult, and I don't want to do it like that. I don't want to drive like that. It's a pain in the ass. I do that
Well,
in
it comes
Battlefield.
back
I don't
to that.
drive
We have
first
all that-
person.
We have all that time learning as kids how to play like the game controllers we have now, and imagine trying to learn how to do all those controls. I just don't think it would stick, especially for this generation of gamers.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I'm yawning so much. Jesus Christ.
All right. Well.
But I mean, yeah, I'm not excited for VR devices just yet. I think we still have probably another 10 years before it becomes truly practical for what it's being built for right now,
Mm-hmm.
and actually becoming a stake place in the market.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go educational and business, and just a really small niche gaming.
Mhm.
Absolutely, horror games I think would be the genre for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Yeah, for sure.
It's like that new Alien Isolation, which like listens through your Connect. Things like that freak me out. I don't know how to explain why.
Yeah.
Well,
I think at that point, I'm not quite sure what we're hitting at right now because I don't know where I
probably
look.
like 147 or so, like last
147?
Yeah.
time.
About the
Yeah,
same
let's
as
just call it.
Yeah, I might as well call this one. So yeah, this has been the second episode of the Dope Hair Podcast. Mainly talked about gaming. Didn't talk about RTX a whole lot this time, which was good because I was completely lost in that conversation.
Yeah.
It was fun to hear the stories, and I want to hear that bear story. He said he's got a bear story that I'm really interested in. So,
It's pretty good.
yeah, so hopefully that
We can get
hopefully
that out of him
he'll be
next
on-
time.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be on the next one, and then we can get it right there. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. This is becoming a weekly thing, so more than likely, I mean, maybe on an off chance it won't happen that week, but expect one every week.
I'm
Tell your
Eric.
friend. Tell your yes. Oh,
Artemis. Haha, I got in.
Andrew.
Graham.
I am Nathan. Tell your friends. Tell us we funny. Tell us you have a good time. This has been a Dope Pair podcast. Doses.
Peace.
Peace.
Let that be the thumbnail. Oh my god.
Be going like the deuces. All right, I'm calling it, guys.
All right.
See y'all later.
All right,
Bye.
later.